Good morning, everyone, and thank you. We'll try and make up some of the lost time, Eric, and give you a very brief overview of our newest program. It's our presidential program, and luckily, since Professor Reichmann already shared with you the 21st Century Challenges video, which you'll see coming up later, you understand the background for the creation of this very, very unusual program, which is meant to create ventures dealing with the challenges that you have seen before. You have my background. I'm going to skip that. This is, as I mentioned, a highly unusual program, and I'll tell you in a few words what it's about. We take, this year, 36 remarkable people. They are graduate level, but when I say graduate, we run the gamut. Some of them have bachelor's degrees, many of them have master's degrees, a few have PhDs. They range in age from 20s to their 50s. They come from Israel, China, the US, Europe, Russia, Canada, and as mentioned, hopefully in the future, also from India, and they will change the world. And the way we'll do that is we'll give them 3 months of training in the challenges of the 21st century. That's done 4 days a week on campus and 1 day a week off campus. And what I failed to mention is that this is a full-time one-year program, not an academic year, but it's actually 11 full months. They start on October 30th. They end on the 29th of September 2017. This year, they spend 5 days a week, 9 to 5, with us. So 3 months they study, 6 months they create ventures, and another 3 months they have an accelerator. And let me tell you a little more about it. So 21st century challenges, you understand what we're covering. Sustainability, biomedicine, where we have created a collaboration with the Mayo Clinic in the US. We don't have a medical school here, or should I say we don't have a medical school here yet. Technology and globalization. We then move on to the second phase, which is creating ventures. Now, as you've heard a little, and Moran will tell you a lot more about this, the IDC has 15 years of remarkable experience in creating successful ventures. I'll let her tell you all about the Zell Entrepreneurship Program, but we are fortunate to be able to build on what works so well in that program and add to that the elements that are required for such an unusual group of participants and for the topics that we're focusing on, which are the greater challenges facing the world. So what we do is we let our people, after the first 3 months, group themselves into small teams. Typically, there'll be 3 or 4 people per team. Choose the topic, the idea, the challenge that they want to solve. We put them together with mentors, and our mentors are truly the top people in the industry, and start working on their ventures. Throughout the 6-month period, we provide them with all the necessary tools. So we have a morning session every day where we have collaborated with the leading firms, the leading practitioners in Israel on the financial side, on the fundraising side, on the legal side, on the intellectual property side. And it's people like Ernst & Young, it's people like APM, which is one of the leading technology law firms, the largest IP firm in Israel, and so on and so forth. We're working with the top people in the industry. They both provide content, they provide mentorship, they provide office hours so that these ventures can go on their way. They also provide services so these ventures can really get off to an excellent start. The evening afternoon session is dedicated to the softer skills, where we have everything from self-realization workshops to hundreds, literally, of meetings with investors, with successful entrepreneurs, with corporations that are interested in finding solutions, with venture capitalists, and so on and so forth. So that's a very, very dense 6 months of working on the venture, and that is then followed by the third phase, which is an additional 10 weeks of working as an accelerator in our workspace, and you're all invited to visit our entrepreneurship building. We have a large workspace that looks more, if you will, like a corporate workspace, doesn't look like a classroom. And that is where they can continue to work with the mentors, with our help, to raise their first round of funding. So what we're trying to get past is that slightly difficult to see red line at the bottom there in the beginning. The participants I've mentioned are a very, very unusual group. I'm not going to take you through all of this, but I am going to show off just a little and tell you that we have everything from a fashion designer with a master's degree from the leading fashion school in the world, the Institut Français de la Mode in Paris. They only take 20 people per year. One of them is joining us, who's a graduate of that school next year. At the other end of the spectrum, we have a space engineer, a woman who is a graduate of NASA's space program and was the operator for the Israeli satellite, not the one that exploded last month. Everything in between. We have pilots, we have engineers, we have a filmmaker, we have an industrial designer, and so on and so forth. I am very, very, very proud to say that over 40% of the participants are women, which is not obvious when it comes to entrepreneurship programs at the higher levels. And there are a few slides here. I invite you to see both our website and our Facebook page, which introduces these participants in a little more detail. And this is where we sit. That's our workspace. I think that by now the benefits of the program are fairly clear to you. The idea is, and the reason that these people are taking a year off their lives, some of them are coming to Israel specially to do this, is that they believe we can equip them with the best possible tools to start a successful venture that'll make a difference in the world. And in a nutshell, this is what I do. I'm starting a startup that helps other startups start up. Thank you, The New Yorker. And on this happy note, thank you very much.